Short time, let's move away from politics and touch on the economy, or perhaps we should begin with the anti-corruption effort in the past year, because you seem to have been quite vocal on that. I've heard your fair analysis on how EFCC has fared with the Bobrisky and Yahaya case. But without going into the details of all of that, are you saying nothing has really changed with these agencies, or particularly the EFCC, even under this administration?
So it is not about administration, it's about the agency of government. Because although I know that agencies of government are offshoot of the executive powers, but if you have seen how the president has remained neutral in the past weeks and months in terms of allowing agencies of government to function, so if
corruption agencies have had on high-profile corruption cases in the past, and if things are going to change anytime soon. Mr. Bwala, are you back now? The EFCC has a track record of not adequately prosecuting high-profile cases, in the past years, and it is not limited to any administration. One would think that it should be different under this administration, because it's why we change government every 4 years. Don't you agree?
I agree, and that's why I told you, because the chairman is a lawyer, there's a law that is expected of him. The reason why EFCC over the years have not succeeded in getting conviction on high-profile cases is because EFCC focused more on media and drama than in actual case. Because the justice system that we practice in Nigeria is that even if you have a volume of allegation against an accused person, he's presumed innocent until he's proven guilty. The person who has the burden of proof is the prosecution. The standard of proof is beyond reasonable doubt. And every element constituting the offense in the charge must be proven. You must be able, for example, in the case of Yahaya Bello, to establish that these crimes that you say, these monies you say he has taken, that there was actually a taking of the money, and that the person who took it was Yahaya Bello, and that he took it with the intention to steal. This is where in law we talk about mens rea and actus reus. You cannot focus on this and still be distracted by media, because it involves a lot of tactfulness, investigation, and due diligence in handling the matter. The minute you resort to the drama of wanting to arrest him to prove a point, like in this case now, how can EFCC, after they submit to the jurisdiction of the court, now be looking for Yahaya Bello? Yahaya Bello is no longer the property of EFCC now. It's the property of the court. It is the court that will determine what happens to him. But you see, when they keep saying we must arrest him, we must do it, it's creating more of a problem. The most troubling one, my brother, is that statement that says Yahaya Bello should be given access through the back door, special man's gate.
Yes.
That special man's gate requires investigation, because if it is proven that that is not consistent with their procedure, then it can give room for compromise.
Perhaps there's a reason why media trial, has been the hallmark of successive administration of the EFCC. There must be a reason why each leader resorts to this, but we don't have enough time to explore that. Let's talk about the economy very quickly. The Tinubu campaign pre-election was strong on the economy, and we've seen this administration take some tough decisions in that regard. The essay to the President on Information and Strategy recently claimed this administration has attracted more than $20 billion into the economy within its first year. Add to it the trillions saved from fuel subsidy removal. But how do you explain that to the average Nigerian who has to deal with high inflation rates and the hardships these decisions have brought?
Right. So before I go, please permit me to finish my thought on that area of anti-corruption. When you say successive government administrations involved in media trial, that's wrong. I don't want us to tie every imbalance and misbehavior of agencies of government to the executive, like the president.
No. I didn't say successive administration, Mr. Bwala. I'm talking about the successive leadership of the anti-corruption agency. You agree that the idea of media trial has been with us not just in the past year?
I agree. And the reason is because they did not copy correctly the intendment of media trial and or real prosecution from the FBI. There are two approaches. If you are naming and shaming a person, and you do not intend to charge the person to court, then you can do all of this media thing, because the whole idea is to disparage his image, probably block him from being appointed or block him from being elected, like the way James Comey did to Hillary Clinton. He went into the media and started talking about allegations against her, which impacted on the voting. At the end of the day, she lost the election by Electoral College. So this is naming and shaming. You are free, you can use media. But if you intend to prosecute, they cannot be connected. You cannot do the two and succeed at the same time. Rule of law is not one for the weak and different one for the rich. It has to be applied to all because nobody is above the law and everybody is equal before the law. So this is the excesses of EFCC in my view, not just in Yahaya Bello's case, but in every other high-profile case. That is the reason why we are not seeing conviction. The conviction you're seeing with all these small offenses like Yahoo boys and some of the destruction of Naira or mutilation of Naira is because most of these convictions you are seeing, they are not actually conviction. They get the people to admit. They give them all kinds of promises. We will not prosecute this, admit it. So when they go to court, the people plead guilty. And any president that wants to see whether the commission works or not, when they bring you reports of the successful conviction, ask that they separate between conviction on Yahoo boys and conviction on high-profile cases. You will discover that from 1999 till today, EFCC has not achieved more in terms of prosecuting high-profile cases, which is the main reason